Well, good afternoon, everyone. Again, sorry for the late start today. I don't know. I guess wintertime just makes people a little more lethargic. In fact, I'm still recovering from the cold I had. Yeah, I've just been dragging. But we're going to try to get this flight in. We are limited on time, so we are going to get going here quickly. We're just finishing up the loading of the aircraft. Currently, 584 Foxtrot Echo on the line here at Memphis, preparing for departure to Miami in the Rotate MD11. So hopefully with 3 hours, we have plenty of time to get there. All right, so once we get these two cans in, we'll continue on. We're pretty much through the majority of it. So, just need to get us loaded. The fuel truck's pulled up, doing his thing in the back there, and we'll be ready to go here momentarily. All right, last cans are on. There comes the door down. The only bad thing about the animation you see here, folks, that's it. Once the door is closed and the loader and truck that just pulled away disappears, so does the cargo inside. However, the aircraft is accounted for the weight, so that is a positive. All right, so with all of that done, let's get up in the cockpit, pre-brief this, and get ready to roll, shall we? All right, so the pre-brief, we'll use Sim Toolkit. It's a free utility, folks. I have yet to come across anything payware about it. Thank you to the folks at Sim Toolkit. I really do appreciate what a program and the fact that it's free. All right, today's loadout is 127,000 pounds in the payload. We're going to fuel up to 51,600 pounds. We're going to carry 24 FedEx employees with us down to Memphis or to Miami. I don't know. I guess they want to warm up. I don't know. Currently planning runway 36 center, landing 26 left. Haven't really looked at the weather. We're about to do that, so we'll see if this all jives. And it will be one of those odd days. I don't think if it is, I can probably count them on one hand how many times into Miami with easterly ops coming in from the east. Cost index 90, 35,000. Let's see what that weather is. Winds are out of the north at 11, gusts to 15, and it's not too bad here in Memphis at 48 degrees. Could be a lot colder, trust me, as we're hearing in forecasts. Down in Miami, well, thank goodness it will be warmer, 75 degrees. May not be beach weather, but you know what? That's a lot warmer than it is right now here in the north. 300 at 6, so technically we could use runway 30. We'll see how things play out as we get closer. 10 miles visibility and just a few clouds at 4,500 feet, so beautiful day. All right, we're already online, sitting on VATSIM, getting ready to go. We've got a clearance of 5610 from Auto ATC on our squawk box, and we will be rolling out here momentarily. Again, a quick look. Hang on, you're going to be in the building, which makes it sometimes hilarious as better pushback drops down when we get ready for that. But overall, there it is, folks, the Rotate MD11. Hope y'all are ready. Let's get back in here and continue on. We just finished the hydraulic test. Looks like it passed. Com radios are indeed set up. Remember, rotate and flight factor especially. Make sure that your client, whatever it is you use, most of us will use X-Pilot, but make sure you have, and I'll do this just because, you know, it's hard to piece it together. Make sure TX, RX up here next to COM 1, make sure you have that, or whatever COM you're using. Most of us use COM 1. COM 2, new rules say we got a monitor guard. That is the guard channel 121.5. Make sure their RX are both highlighted. That way you can hear. Transmit on 122.8 is highlighted so you can transmit. Believe me, uh, I had everything I thought set up right. Everything looked good up here. Make sure you do this last step. Each of the okay, so your COM will look like this. Make sure it says mic in VHF1. And then, of course, to get the RX, you got to pull the knobs up. Make sure you turn them up. You would have done everything right. And then go, why can't I hear the controllers? Doggone it. That's why you did. You can actually turn them up and turn them down. So. Oh, this pesky cough. All right. So just wanted you all to see that one more time. Rotate and flight factor especially. Go through that check. Make sure you are good to go. All right. And while I say check, I am checking that I get on FedEx Virtual's ACORI system. Hang on, KMEM, KMIA, do a downlink, and okay, well, that is not the route we're flying, but it'll have to do. Oh, this cold. All right, so let's continue on, get this bird going. Comms are set up, glare shield. All right, what that's meaning now is we're going to set up, there we go, what we see up here. Hang on, let me get my lighting. That was one thing I hadn't gotten to yet. All right, so we're in the land of inches of mercury, so make sure we say a QNH of 2 numbers dot 2 numbers, not like everywhere else where it's 4 numbers with no dot. And then set your barometric pressure. Oh, excuse me. And here it is 3040. Okay, next up, I'm actually going to see if I can't, there we go, so we can better see. Set our decision altitude to 400. Actually, what we're doing is, per the Airman's Information Manual, either the end of the runway or 400 feet, whichever is the highest, make your turn, your first turns. So now if you're on a 4,000 foot runway, you're going to be at the end of the runway, but you may not already be at 400 feet. So you want to get up there. You never know obstacle wise what's nearby. Okay, and let me just continue on here. Baro altitude altimeter is set. Mag is set. Okay, and bank angle is the hardest one to see, even until you zoom it in. Where you see the word auto, there should be like a little notch in the knob below it. That's where you're looking to see that it's at auto. Okay, pressing on, final setup on our FMC. All right, let's add in our cruise. We said 35,000. All right, temperature I don't touch. Headwind or tailwind I do. So it's diagonal, and we're running with a tailwind of 50. All right, I'm back. And finally, cost index. Sorry, folks, a couple things going on here. All right, 90 optimal is 37, max 41. We're cruising at 35. Okay, next up on the hit parade. All right, we're going to go to the weight section. So let's click over. Now I'm going to show you a little trick here. Most of you guys with the rotate MD11 already know this, but for those who don't, I'll show it to you. All right, so here's our weight and balance. First off, you would put your payload in, your block fuel, your taxi fuel, hint, hint, 2,000 pounds, always. Yeah, just that's what your sheet will always show. 28,030, for our trip today. All right, block fuel's easy to find. Trip, sometimes confusing. En route burn, same word, same term, different words. All right, and the reason, if you want your landing weight, which most of us would like to know that, you got to put something in here. Otherwise, it has no idea how far you're flying. It's just going to go, oh, let's see, I can fly for so long with 51,000 pounds of fuel. That doesn't give it an idea where you're landing. So, all right, so there's how you do that. Now, the key over here is your takeoff CG under the graph. TOCG has to be with rotate between 30% and 31%. As far as I know, this also applies to the passenger version. So, I have yet to get it to where 31% is in the envelope. So be mindful. And if you want to experiment, just I'm not going to tell you what happens because I don't know. But anyway, I set to 30.5, put it right in the middle. All right, now the little tip I'm going to tell you. Go ahead, click this. It's gonna load, but the load configuration and all of this information now just push to the plane, as well as you can read here, FMS went right to that McDo. So when we get to that point right now, we don't have to fill out this page. Need to check it, and you can click on it now. Oh, thank you so much. Wish we got the whole thing, but hey, we'll take this right here and compare your numbers. 42.9 takeoff gross, 42.9, zero fuel weight of 384. That'll work for me. And our zero fuel weight right here, CG 26.5, and they match. Cool. Everything looks good here. But yeah, that's what you've got to, how you fill that page out. While I'm here, click. Let me make sure nothing weird on my screen. Okay. Now, with this page, we, like I said, we just check. Called it a McDo because, folks, those of you that fly Airbuses, you've just now got your second big lesson with the rotate. Don't let this plane scare you, folks, especially if you fly Airbuses. It's an Airbus. That just says MD, not B, MD, McDonnell Douglas. So it's not 100% Boeing. Matter of fact, very little of it is Boeing. Um, it is a lot more Airbus in it than you think. So just keep that in the back of your mind. It really helps because we're going to F Planet. Airbus guys know that's right off the gauge. We're going to go to Memphis. We're going to go to the SID. Do I need to say any more, Airbus fans? All right. Now, do we want to go 3-6 or not? Center. We have to go 3-6. Winds, let me double check. 010 at 8. I mean, technically, could we go runway 9? Yes. Do we want to? Not with 80. Well, it's 9,000 feet long. I mean, theoretically, we shouldn't have any trouble on it. Let me see if the real world's departing on that. Actually, they're departing 2-7. Huh. Let's do it. What the heck? Let's give it a shot. 2-7. And departure today is the BB King. Makes perfect sense if you know Memphis. All right, so the BB King off 2-7 is just basically a straight out departure. Which way do we head? Then Leoid. Where's Leoid? Oh, no, don't tell me they're gonna. Oh, wow, they are. So actually, this is the cool one. We take off on 2-7 or 9, and we're direct Leoed to Leo. Isn't that cool? 2-7 selected, BB King. Transition. Do we go to KERMI? Hang on. KERMI. Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. All right. Again, it spells it out right here. We'll keep this open and hope to goodness we get the right clicks and don't have to redo everything in flight. If you missed that flight, praise God. No. We accidentally on the last flight, we're going to get our direct and continue on out of Montreal. And lo and behold, I clicked our hold fix for the missed approach. Don't know how. Somehow I did. But yeah, somehow I got us direct all the way to our hold fix at our destination. Yeah. So I had to put everything back in. Okay, BB King, KERMI, Montgomery, ACORI, and then on to our arrival. Today's arrival will be the frogs. I don't know how this will play out for you. Not too bad. So we'll come off of Corey all the way down to probably winter, and then loop our way either on to 3-0 or 2-6. We'll see how things play out down there. Okay. All right, so the same thing. We'll click Miami, star. Oh, let me check the weather real quick. Even though it's going to change en route 300 at 6:36 minutes old. All right, let's go with 3-0. What the heck? All right, so we said frogs, ACORI, and Oh boy. Either way, it's a short taxi. Let's play nice today. Do that. If we got to change it en route, we will. All right. That all looks good. I'm going to go with tubes. Insert. Okay. All right, all of that now just gets us lined up. Oh, wait, we went tubes. Perfect. That'll take us right in. Okay. Okay, ACORI, bullseye. I'm just checking fixes to make sure we didn't miss anything snappy. Nikki, Bromo, Scruff, plows. Matinee, cleat, Barbin, James, frogs, Anole, Hokai, Viga, sofas. And what I'm looking is just to make sure we're not missing anything so I know what we're doing. Reeling, winter. From winter, we then transition up to tubes, basho, angler, basher, angler, and into the runway. Hold point today is Barbara and missed approach. If we have to go to the alternate, it is Mickey World. All right, again, we're taking off from runway 27. Departure from our flight plan of 36 center. What the heck? Let's try a 9,000 foot runway out. Now, if we were going to London or to Anchorage, probably 36 center would be the better runway. Probably. Not saying may not be completely unusable, but. All right, with that, let's press on. We got our flight plan in. Now we head to a little different. Instead of perf, we go to TO approach. Little change. And what we'll do, and I'm just going to do this for the sake of time, hit takeoff, switch us to 7, go. All right. We'll have some fun with this later, but currently we're looking at, all right, we're going to be flexing at 60. Packs off. Actually, I'm going to run with them on. Okay, for that runway, I don't think we have a slope. I was wrong, down 0.6. Poor dog. Slash, and we're looking at a heading on the runway 273. Outside. Uh-oh, I did something wrong. Hang on. Oh, wind. Ah, that's what I did wrong. Wind, my bad, HD, minus 1. Outside air temperature here, 9 degrees Celsius. Flaps 15. And everything else looks good over here. 135, 146, 157. We'll go with it. And click, click, click. And we're ready to go, folks, with the FMC. Now let's transition to the middle part of this. All right, so now 250 is our speed. Heading, this is where we did the heading. Okay, altitude. Currently nobody here, so we're going straight up, maybe. Okay, finally, make sure we push the traffic button, the data button, VOR1, VOR1, turn off the weather. In that case, right now was the terrain, and we're ready for engine start, folks. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go. Like I said, we've got a boot, scoot, and boogie on this one, so. All right, hope you all are ready. And do the same over here so you're not caught off when you look. Okay. Bear with me, I'm gonna set one thing up real quick. Okay, and let's head outside. Actually, beforehand, okay, we have the EPU and the bleed on. So come off external power. Very important. Always come off first. Then you can come over to ground ops, dismiss it. Close, close, close. And everything's closing up. Now, the only thing left for us to do as we look at it, close the door and pull the stairs and the chocks. So let's go. Duluth, Duluth, Duluth. Are you on a, wait a minute, not on CTAF yet? I think that's what I saw. No, I am not yet on CTAF. I haven't even pulled the frequency yet. I think it's like 119.1 or something like that. You begin to learn quickly, folks, what 119.7. You pick up on them pretty quick. Thank you, sir. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you very much. Okay, we are ready to go with FedEx Express Virtual. Hey, if you're looking for a virtual airline that doesn't overpower you with a lot of rules, check them out. They're a really good bunch. Been with them going on 7-8 years now. Great bunch. Still mind blown how long I've been with Sim Air Force, but the group at FedEx Express Virtual is really good technology, working with the old FS Acres program, modified FS Acres 2, 3, whatever the heck it's up to now. And just phenomenal what they have and have been in place for a while. to make it a fun, relaxing, enjoyable place. Good Discord channel. Just a really good overall virtual airline. That's if you missed it, !FedEx. But, you know, if you just go to www.fedexva.org, same thing, but !FedEx. When you're on channel with me anytime, day or night, you'll get the website, FedExVA.org. All right, let's do it. Sounds like we have some people out there chomping at the bit. Let's see if we have anyone here in FedEx land. Real quick look before we shove off. I don't see anyone. Wow. Odd. That's okay, though. Let's get better pushback on the move. Better pushback. There you are.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Since we're going to go 27, let's just do it simple today, folks.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Hang on. I want to see if it drops down on us, folks. Doesn't look like it. All right. Darn. Cockpit stairs, closing the door. All right, everything appears ready. Let's go ahead, get on
Okay. All doors and hatches are
SITAF.
closed, ready to connect.
Okay, and close. Come over here. Just want to make sure I'm on the page. Oh, I went to routes. Wow, everyone else is flying outside the country, but this guy. Huh, cool.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Memphis common area traffic, FedEx 811 heavy pushing back. FedEx will taxi 27.
Wait a minute, you had 27, I got 367. What makes that any different?
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Oh, all right, there she goes. Beacon on. All right, let me just run through this real quick. Okay. Emergency lights. Fuel ready. Transponder. Go with A today. Okay, everything looks good here. Let's crank them up. Hopefully I don't have much more trouble than that. And what we're doing is we're just watching. Once we reach the teal, blue, whatever you want to call it, line there, I give it to 17, 18 right there. Let her come up.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
All right. And then we just watch it like everything. We've got 2 more to go. We'll do number 1, then number 2. All right, that looks pretty good. There's that blue, teal, whatever you want to call it. Fuel on.
Echo is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
All right, thanks for the pushback there, better pushback. Those of you looking for something better than what default pushbacks do,
Traffic, the American 1340,
and
short,
this is it.
36 center.
There are a lot of things you can do with better pushback. All right, waiting on the guy to show me the pins. Show me the pins. There we go. Yeah, I know, it's not as good as saying show me the money. Okay, coming on with number 2. By the way,
Memphis traffic, the American 1340, Canada running 36 center for departure to the south.
and the center engine is coming alive. All right. While we wait for it to settle its
Memphis traffic, American 1340, taking out 36 center.
we'll get going here with the rest of our taxi checks. We'll get the defroster on. I think I already did, come to think of it. No, I did not. I just couldn't see it. APU, let's, before we kill that, everything looks good there. And here, turn off the APU bleed, then the APU. All you got to do is either click it here, folks, come up top, click it where it says OFF. Alrighty, hydraulic pumps. All right, configuration. All right, now this is actually a interesting screen. So what we got to do here is make the stabe trim here equal here 4.8 here in a moment. Okay, and then
Memphis traffic, American 1340, airborne wheels up over 36 center, climbing now 3000 for 370 over to advisory. Thanks for your service.
and then get our surface check done here. Okay. And last but not least, here we go with where I love to have some fun with this airplane. Remember, flaps 15. Okay, if you look on this, wait, where's flaps 15? That's right. I really have a hard time buying in on this with McDonnell Douglas. Yeah, you got to call dial a flap. No, just kidding. 1-800-dial-a-flap will get you a flap setting. You gotta love it. Anyway, what you do, you set your flap over here by moving the wheel up or down to whatever the number dispatch gave you. Set it, and then when you click, there's your slats coming out. Now it goes to 15. I mean, it's laughable enough to just say dial a flap. It's right. We're calling dial a flap to get a flap setting. Oh, McDonnell Douglas. Sometimes I wonder these companies actually really do try to get themselves out of business. Stave trim set, takeoff data correct and checked. Real quick, we're running 135, 146, 135, 146, 157. Checked, confirmed, taxiing. Memphis traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, taxi 27. Brakes off. Here we go. You know, sometimes you just can't make this stuff up, folks. It really complements the real world, really gives you the material. All right, before takeoff checks, takeoff data once again checked. EAD is looking good. Auto brake set. You know what? Let's go ahead just in case. Set the anti-skid to on. Oop, it is on. Auxiliary pump takeoff. We're good there. We're ready to go, folks. Dial a flap called and confirmed 15. Oh, that just cracks me up with what some of these airline or aircraft manufacturers put in their planes. Really makes you shake your head. All right, and upon reaching, I believe we are gonna be ready to go. Air panel, hydraulic panel, cabins ready, radar. Oh, we could turn that on right now. Ooh, radar on. Button pushed. And we are on 20, so let's increase a little. Push, increase, increase, increase. All right, here we go. And Memphis traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, departing 27, BB King departure. Lights are on. Sorry about sniffling in your ear like that, folks. Oh, my apologies. One last run of the surfaces. And we're going to do a cargo takeoff. By the way, I was watching a video yesterday of an MD11 takeoff, and somebody was thoroughly amazed at saying, I guess the caption was, MD11, it's Louisville, in a hurry to get out. That is a standard MD11 departure. They crank them up, folks. All right. It is one of the most impressive departures to see such a huge plane next to a C5 on a short takeoff. Just crank them up like they do, and then they get to whatever, I think it's 3,000 before they start pushing over for a cruise climb. Oh my gosh, to see something that big, nearly vertical, is simply amazing. DC-10s do it too. I saw a lot with KC-10s. All right, before I get yelled at, let's get it fixed now. All right, we're ready. Lights. Camera. Wait a minute, let me make sure. Strobes. We're ready. Here we go. All right, click auto flight. All right, stabilize, going for power. Rolling, rolling, rolling. All right, there's 100. Coming up on V1. Rotate it. Positive rate gears coming up, and here we go. This is no lie, folks. This is what the MD11s are known for. Memphis traffic, FedEx 811, clear of your area. Have fun. All right. Okay, flaps are coming up. Slats coming up. All right, I have no idea why it looks like this. All right, hey, we're doing a lot better than we did last time. I'm not frantically putting in waypoints. All right, and let's go nav. Check back here in a second. I think we're in good shape, folks. And turning on course. Cool. I didn't mess up this time. Although, I've got to figure out how to get it to go direct when I tell it direct instead of direct the line from Memphis to the fix. That I got to work on. All right, we are en route. Looking good. All right, after takeoff, just double checking some things. Seatbelts at altitude. We're at speed now. We can disarm the spoilers. And while I'm here, there. All right, we're on our way. Estimating 1 hour 30 minutes, right on time. So we actually will pick up a little bit. All right, well, welcome in. I'm going to head over to the Discord channel, private broadcast, and feel free to drop in if you'd like. Just be mindful. All right, sorry I've missed some chats here. ATC Bear is already in with a prediction. 210. Ooh, being generous. Thank you, sir. I haven't got my phone turned on yet. So bear with me here, folks, so I can catch chats a little quicker. But we are en route Memphis to Miami. I know there's an Atlanta flight up ahead of us. Our moderator, Duluth Fly, happens to be in that one. Chasing them down. And a little quick note for those of us here in the St. Louis area, actually in the Midwest, really pay attention to the weather over the weekend into early next week. A walloping snowstorm, ice storm is coming ashore and expected in the heartland here over the weekend, Saturday night, Sunday. Current looks like here in St. Louis, potentially all snow, although that ice line that they're talking about isn't far off. So obviously there's enough time between now and then that line could fluctuate. So at least the 20-inch snowfall range numbers, I'm not seeing any today. I have seen an 8 to 10, but again, doesn't say where. Mr. Stein, they want you to worry about the polar vortex in New York. You know what's funny? That's actually just made up here in the last few years. The meteorologists have to come up with names now, just like they do winter storms, because they think that instills vigilance. But yeah, we've got a pretty nasty storm headed for the Midwest, so What it will be, well, we'll let you know Tuesday. Oh, wait, it'll be over and I'll know exactly. I can make that six-figure number and be right. If it was only that easy. Actually, I'll be totally honest. I really would not want a TV weather person position. Do you realize the responsibility on those folks? When you sit down and think about it, everything looking at your forecast. I mean, schools, businesses, government, road crews, airports. I mean, literally, the weight of the world is on their shoulder. What do I say about the build of ATC? That is which is closing up right now. I'm going to say fantastic. I think the folks, the guy's name's slipping my tongue right now, did a remarkable job. It's probably the best in-game flight sim ATC I've ever used. And so really, folks, if you're in X-Plane 12, give it a try. Be careful, though. It is very specific to what your flight plan tells it. Case in point, flew a flight New York City, JFK to Boston. Pretty much uneventful other than the plane. But the return flight, be very mindful what you put in for your star, because it's going to fly you on it. Whereas VATSIM controller or real world controller will go, okay, yeah, we're going to route you in. They read into it. So, but anyway, that's my take on ATC and X-Plane 12. Fantastic. I actually thought about using it today. But then I saw no controllers up, so I'm like, that's part of the reason I thought about it. No controllers. I thought, why not give it another run? But we may dabble with it here soon. Mr. Stein, your local weatherman, has been doing it since 1983. God bless that man. That's when I graduated high school, just to make him feel a little bit older. All right, back after the ads. And oh, hang on a second. Okay. Are we back yet? Not yet. To the subscribers, hey, thank you so much for subscribing. We sure appreciate you. And I hope you enjoy the ad-free viewing. Just make sure we're going to turn here. Hey, welcome back, everyone, from the break. That is a milestone, 1983, behind the desk of the weather place where you're at there, Mr. Stein. We just had one of our best forecasters here in St. Louis retire within the last 5 years. And this man went out on limbs when most people were still, it's too far out. It's not in Kansas City yet for us to determine how much snow we're going to get. He'd be telling you when it's still out in the Pacific. And you know what? 9 out of 10 times, he was almost dead on. Really good, really knew the currents, knew the systems, and obviously he was before a lot of the computer models. So, it's a whole different way. It was kind of neat to watch his evolution in weather, going from card stock numbers for temperatures and winds to the high-tech digital you see today. It was kind of fun to see that transformation, but really good forecasters were back then, folks, and hopefully these kids wake up and smell some of the garbage they're shoveling. Some aren't even meteorologists. That's the sad thing. But like I said, though, take heed, get your French toast supplies. It's coming. You don't want to be stuck Sunday here in the St. Louis area going, wait a minute, I can't have French toast. There's no bread, egg, or milk. So get ready now is the basic mantra here. All right, one thing I don't like about rotate, it doesn't anticipate the turn well. All right, we'll let our cargo folks get at it with the cargo back there. And folks, if you're not familiar with it, when you think about making French toast, what do you use? Bread, milk, and eggs. And that's what's always in high demand with these storms, along with baby formula. I get that one 100%. Trust me, 9-month-old in the house, not as often anymore, but still nonetheless here. So yeah, we get it. All right, so okay, I am running into a problem. If I have AI traffic to the same runway, I get every time a go around. Okay, as to how to get around that, my best suggestion, let X-Plane know about it in their Discord. Worst case scenario, maybe even send them a bug report. Now, hopefully it won't slow the progression to 1.4, because I think they could fix that in between. I have yet to try it with AI traffic. I have frame rate issues when I turn that on. So I haven't run into any kind of where it tells me go around or anything like that. But you're right. I mean, it knows transitions if you're in different countries, what those are. It knows stars, SIDS, via the transitions on each of those. Just remarkable piece of what they've done. And like I said, folks, give it a try. It's definitely a great training tool to help you get ready for VATSIM. Also, I've put this out to real-world flight instructors too. Now, I'm not saying train with X-Plane. No. What I'm doing is saying, hey, you're new pilot, new to the world of aviation, never talked on an ATC radio, let alone heard what it sounds like on an ATC radio. Use this tool to help give them that rhythm of how, we ask for this, we expect this from the tower, or, gives you an idea how that works. I've even put it out to some people I know who do driver training at airports. While totally different, has some similarities that could help bridge that fear gap. There's a lot of people, they get on that ATC radio, freeze. And unfortunately, the trainers are going to flunk them. They've got to be able to go a little bit with the punches. Now, some of the stuff I've had people freeze up on me in training, I get. That was totally unexpected and totally, what the heck were they doing? Problem is that does happen at airports. So you kind of got to know how to go with the flow. Oh, the APU is still showing on. All right, well, let's try it. Well, I think I know why. I'm going to go ahead and just shut it off up here. See what happens. But it really is a great tool. What's coming next? I've gotten little bits and pieces. Could be interesting. Flight lessons. Maybe some weather tweaks, I hope. And again, helping you to be better at using X-Plane 12 and flying. Not necessarily real world. I will never say take this and apply it to the real world, but you can use this to help in training scenarios. So, but they have really, with ATC, and what I used, oh my gosh, with 2002 and Century of Flight, oh, and FSX, oh my gosh, you'd be vectored and forgotten. It was that bad. Here, I only had one problem, and I still don't know what happened. So if I get into that situation again, I'm going to try what I think I should have. And worst case scenario, tell me ATC, just because whatever the verbiage is, clearance canceled, switch to VFR, blah, 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 blah. But they did a really good job with it. And those of you that turned on AI because you're able to, don't get hit hard like I do on frames. Man, love you, because I'd love to try it. All right, an hour away from MGMRY. I hope y'all are enjoying the ride. The plane ahead of us. Where'd he end up? There he is. They're not too far ahead of us. Ah, did the APU door not close? I may be running with the APU. Ooh, Thessalonica to Belgium? Did I get that right? Their ATC bear? I need to go into Thessalonica. It's been a while. I like that airport. Yeah, I was thinking about flying the Vienna to Cologne, my first flight of the day, but I want to get down here to Miami and try out the 747-8 for FedEx and see what we can do with it. So that's why it took priority today. Either way, well, we would have had ATC over there, but not too bad at the time of departure. But Europe isn't as bad. Yeah, I like Thessalonica in Greece. Brussels actually is I usually end up in Liege, where the cargo planes mostly go, but especially FedEx and TNT. But I'm starting to like Brussels a little bit more too, and starting to fly it more. All right, so yeah, looks like the EPU is going to remain on through the flight. No big deal. And yes, I did consider the Panda Express. I was also looking to a potential passenger run with it, but nobody out there has made one of my favorite liveries for the MD11, World Airways passenger version. Um, got all the cargo, but I really never saw them in cargo. I always saw them in passenger. I think I saw one cargo plane for World, but it was a 747. Um, so wish somebody would get us a nice paint job of World Airways passenger version. A couple of other airlines that were out there they haven't done either, but it's also still fairly new, a couple of months old. So, but again, I am in Discord, um, and feel free to drop in, say hey, hi, welcome aboard, and love to meet and greet you. Hope everyone's new year is kicking off well, besides the weather. Um, but I hope y'all have a better year this year than last. And looking forward to seeing what 2025 has to offer us. All right, let's see what kind of ATC we have ahead of us. All right, looks like Miami Center has come up. All right, let me look at this Frogs 4 real quick. Okay, above 34 it plows, so we know that's how far we're going to get in before at least starting a descent. Cleat above 21. So, yeah, we're going to get a pretty good run here. All right, looking at... Well, that's Memphis. It would help to click the right one. All right, currently... Okay, so currently we're looking at 26 left, 2730 for ILS's. Echo is the information. But we still got a ways to go. All right, I've talked about it quite a bit. Been a alpha tester for. Oh, we'll talk about more after the break. Okay, so let's see where we are. But Elevatech, folks, is a really good program coming along. Hope you all check into it here soon. Bullseye, where is Bullseye? Oh, we got a ways to go. We got to get past Scruff. Okay, Snappy, Nikki, Bromo. Okay. Yeah, we're not doing too bad on frame rates. By the way, most of this app, folks, that you're seeing in front of you comes from plug-in free AvTab, and it activates a lot of this. But the big one I like to use it for, besides the map, is getting my frame rates. Kind of getting a feel how bad is it going to be going into certain areas, especially if there's any kind of weather and or a lot of traffic. 20 frame rates a second is the what XPilot looks for. It does have some flexibility. It tells you when you've gone too long below that flexibility and it's getting ready to disconnect you. Oh, my nose. All right, let's see where we stand. 212 miles from top of descent. Let's get some basic information figured out. All right. Okay, everything looks good. Landing data. We're not going to get that just yet. However, I am going to go over to SimBrief. Take a look at what they're calling for. Landing. Okay, currently 2.6 left. We're going to eat up about 6,000 feet of runway. Brakes. Can I set it lower? No. Max. So, and that's 50. Okay, we're coming in 35. So yeah, 6,000 feet of runway and a speed 154. All right, we'll get that all factored in here in a minute. Get it a little closer. But kind of give you an idea, the Airbus look to it. I think you're kind of seeing that. They have sections, fuel. Now, granted, fuel is usually up here, electric, you know. But you can see they've pretty well taken that kind of sectioning the overhead and working it a little different than Boeing does. But again, McDonnell Douglas was McDonnell Douglas when this aircraft came to be. Boeing inherited it with the purchase of McDonnell Douglas to get the F-15s and the F-18s. Along the way, they get the MD11s and DC-10s. And for those that remembered seeing the cans being loaded, as promised, they are not in the flight deck. You know, as much as we hated Captain Sim, they would load 7, 8, whatever you told it to. And in flight, if you went back here, you'd see them. So, you know, great eye candy seeing it load, but it would have been neat to see it in the plane too. But overall, it's a really good model, folks. I do recommend it. There, like I said, there's some little quirks to work through, and but overall, it's, to me, a very easy aircraft to fly. Once you understand there's more Airbus in this, and that helps you a lot with the, and I like to say it, McDo, not FMC. Because quite frankly, it looks more like an Airbus McDo than it does a Boeing FMS. And that's, I think, where a lot of people get hung up on this plane. They're expecting one thing, lo and behold, they're not getting it. So it makes it more complicated for them because they're too fixated on the Boeing setups and don't realize Airbus is just as good of a plane as the Boeings, and just very simplistic in many aspects. I find them far easier to fly than Boeing. There's a funny video out there, side-by-side approach. I'm assuming the same runway. Airbus, guy in one screen, Boeing in the other. The Airbus barely moving the stick down the approach, and you got a bullseye of the approach and the stick, and the Boeing guy. Now, I'm going to hope he is exaggerating. He is like all over the whole column there, trying to keep it on track, up, you know, turning the wheel left and right, pushing, pulling, trying to keep it on track for the runway. And the Airbus guy, the airplane's just set and descending. Like I said, I hope it's all staged. I'd hate to think that's how it really is in a Boeing. I don't fly them, so I don't know. And I am just a private pilot. Haven't flown since 1985, sorry. And all I need to do is fly with an instructor, and I'd like to go through ground school just to get back in the grooves of ATC, of weight and balance, forecasts, and all of that. And then the instructor just to get back into comfortably flying the aircraft again. Oh, excuse me. Right, currently 30 minutes out, folks. Last chance to grab a beverage, popcorn, whatever suits you. We're going to begin our descent here shortly. About 150 miles out. Oh, this cough. Good afternoon there, Zaslinger 42. Welcome in. Thanks for the hello. And to all the followers and subscribers to Following with Mike, thank you so much for a great year. We'd like to make 2025 even better. My friend is, a real world 767 pilot flying. Hang on, it dropped off. Wow, that is awesome. We actually, for a long time, had a 767 freight dog for FedEx. I think he was out of Australia and in and out of the channel all the time, helping us out and getting some good Snickers at Flight Factors, startups and stuff. You know, how long it takes the engines to spool. Getting some good Snickers in on them. But that is awesome. You have a real world. Well, actually, my dad, who was a Dash 8 pilot for Allegheny. Okay, it wasn't Allegheny that those of us who would have remembered the old Allegheny Airlines. It was the US Air Express version. Flew Dash 8s, and he had friends, a couple of them captains on FedEx. Now I think their sons and daughters are on with FedEx, and an old flight instructor or boss, one of the two at the Aero Club that I used to work at back in the early 80s. She went on to be with FedEx. That is awesome. He flew for SkyWest. Oh, we know a dispatcher. So, yeah, that's awesome. What a small world. That is awesome. Love to hear real world pilots out there and the tales they have to tell. My dad's told some of the kind of hairy, scary ones. Wait a minute. My dad's friend that was a pilot on FedEx, no, he was with Atlas. His son or daughter or both are with FedEx now. But some Harry Carey stories. Welcome to the world of cargo. FedEx maybe not so much, but you start getting off into the world of Atlas and those cargo carriers, things seems to get a little. He was just in Memphis for recurrent training. Can't imagine why you'd be in Memphis. Oh man, the super hub. Well, that is awesome. Oh, for a second there, I was trying to figure out what is it trying to tell me. It's St. Petersburg. Oh, you went for Graceland. Got it. I was waiting for you to say Beale Street. Oh, but anyway. Really? Played trumpet Memphis the musical. I don't think I've heard of that one. Huh, interesting. I'll have to look that up. Fortunately, we're getting ready to descend, so I have to put that on a back burner, but I'm going to look that up. Memphis. That is awesome. awesome to hear. I know several people in the music industry, being I was once a tuba player in high school and the marching band for Lackland Air Force Base. There you go. There you go. All right, we're 90 miles out. So Zatzlinger saying he's a pilot who's in the pilot we were talking about is a pilot into music as a hobby, whereas Zatzlinger is a musician into aviation as a hobby. Interesting. Love it. Love it. All right, let's get this information gleaned and get ready. 93 takeoff. All right, 35. That's what we're shooting for on the flaps. Using dial-a-flap. That's right, 1-800 dial-a-flap. Don't forget to call them. Oh my goodness, that just still cracks me up, dial-a-flap. You know, who my dad knows with people with FedEx. I don't remember if they're MD11 pilots or not. I would really love to talk to them about that. But anyway, we're looking at an approach speed of 154. Cool. All right. What did we determine for us? 6,300 feet of runway. Let's go. Let's go medium. All right. Performance 82 miles out. It's getting hard now to find the MD11s. I saw a count and I forget when it was valid to, but they're down to like 30, I think, in FedEx. I think double that number in UPS, but they are beginning to be put to pasture. Boy, did they find their luster in the cargo world. The MD11s. Not so much in the passenger world, but boy, in the cargo world, they found their groove and really did a great job. Oh. And I'm pretty sure it's that 30 to 31% MAC. That's what the airlines didn't let. No, just kidding. Just kidding. No, really don't fully understand why the airlines just hated them for the most part. Hang on a second here, folks. But boy, when they basically the cargo companies got them at a fire sale price, and boy, did they whatever the airlines hated, they figured out, and boy, did they just become a force to reckon with, the MD11s in the cargo world. They really took over. Little more fuel efficient than a 747. But the 777s came along and were a little more fuel efficient than them. But boy, they could carry the weight, all of that, and really good distance. So This cough is just, ugh. All right, looking up here at the overlay, we're about 20 minutes out of Miami. So we're about ready to start descent. We're going to set the brakes for landing at 3 and take her in from there. About to go over Sarasota. Those of you familiar with the Florida area. Okay. All right, we're coming up to Plows. Got to be above 34,000. So we'll cross Plows and then begin our descent. Headed on down to... I don't think we have a hard altitude. Yeah, we don't. So we'll head on down to 11,000 and then we'll head on down to 5 and work our way in. Matter of fact, speaking of which, we should. Well, as thought, yep, Miami went down. Oh well, their loss. So again, hope you have a happy new year and hope 2025 is better than what we left in 2024. Unfortunately, the weather is a bit on the frightful side. After that December we just went through, wow, what a coin flip. Whew. 40s, 50s for the most part last half of the month, and now, oh, I don't even know if we're going to see 40s or 50s for the next few weeks. But that's how it happens. And it's going to kick off with some winter precipitation. Hope you're not in the gun for the ice storm they're talking about. They're talking snow for the most part here, but that ice line always is close. Okay, we're about to cross Plows. If you're into trying to guess how good or bad flying with Mike here will land, exclamation mark, the word predict, a space and a negative number. Get you in the running for it. All right, there we go, top of descent. Okay. All right, so windshield anti-ice, we're not going to need to worry about it. Descent set, and DH. Haul that back to 200. Actually, I'm going to double check. All right, here's our arrival, folks, if you're curious. So right now we're over plows. So we got Maddie, Cleat, Barben, and you can see the altitude and speed restrictions along the way. And we hit frogs. Now from here we head to Enol, Hakul, Vega, Sofas, Holes, Coddle. This is where I've set us for 11,000. We'll heed the speed restrictions. There's some great videos about the word at, especially JetBlue, and this is real world. This isn't VATSIM argument. This is real world at, a discussion of the word at. New York approach and JetBlue. Coddle, then we're on to Macy's, Reelin, Winter. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. 5,000 feet, and right now they want us at 250. I'll probably be at 240, maybe even slower as we turn for the ILS 26 left. All right, real quick, because I do know there are some here in training like to see these charts. I'll do my best. Again, I was a private pilot. So, across the top are frequencies we could encounter, like 120. What are we going to get today? Probably 118.3 at the rate we're going for CTAF. We'll see. Here's the ILS, though. Boeing guys, you got to set this in most of the planes 109.1. Final approach is 272. Agler, give you an idea maybe where it's at, just over 6.5 miles out. Need to be at 1,600 feet. Our decision will be at 200 feet above the ground. There's a reason why you kind of gear towards above the ground. The minimums you can accept at an airport are the base of a broken or overcast layer, lowest base. So as long as that's higher than 200, we're fine. If it's below it, we got problems. We may have to look for a different runway, like 27. I think they have a category 2 approach. Missed approach below it. And then here is what we're doing. We're going to fly out to Tubes, 12 miles into Basho, Agler, again, 1,600 feet on the altimeter, and then end for the runway. Basho at 3,000, kind of giving us a vertical idea of what we need to be at. Missed approach is down here again. This is what we can expect approach lighting. Malsif basically is just 5 rows of lights. Maybe sequent flashing lights, maybe not. Pappy on the left side of the runway to help us visually guide in once we break out, which there's no clouds. And then this gives us an idea, if the glide slope goes out, a general idea of how to maintain a 3-degree glide slope without it. In our case, it's going to be right around 800 feet a minute. All right, for this approach, we have got to have, like I said, broken or overcast above 200 feet AGL. Visibility has to be greater than 3/4 of a mile, and MAV can then call the ball. RVR has to be higher than a 40, which is a little high for most ILS approaches, but the way we're coming in over densely populated areas kind of explains it. So, and then once on the ground, here's 26 left. Wherever we get off at here, L3, 2, or 1, FedEx is right up here. American is this whole concourse D. For those who may not know. All right, there's our approach briefing. I need an altimeter setting 3014. Be honest, folks, I'm kind of glad this may be the only flight, or is the only flight of the day. Whoa, this cough is starting to get a little ridiculous again. Oh. Oh. Sorry about that, folks. 3014. Okay, 3014, we're good. Descending to 11,000. How we doing on altitudes? By the way, I do need to get this thing slowed up. Actually, it's doing pretty good on its own. Cool. All right, we're coming up to Arbin. 15,280. Perfect. 11,000. We're going to be carrying that for a little bit. Okay. And as you look at the nav display, let me blow it up a little bit. You can see where the hockey stick is. That's pretty much how far we're going to carry 11,000. And then we'll start our descent down to 5,000, and then we'll come up and come in. Again, if you're into it, exclamation mark the word predict. A space and a negative number will get you in the running for how well I do on this landing. No prizes awarded. You know, that's something I may have to look into. Something simple, easy to a winner. So if you're so inclined, what was the best part of the last couple of weeks here as we rolled out, leaving 2024 behind, pushing into 2025? And if again you're so inclined and want to say what you're hoping for, hey, as long as you keep it clean and as politically free as possible. Love to hear what how your last 2 or 3 weeks went and what you're looking forward to in 2025. I can say this much: I am gonna be a year older, but I get to the big 6-0. So that'll be an interesting mark. All right, we're coming into James, and that is Jamis at 11,280. Next up will be a 250 restriction as we begin getting close to the airport. Well, for now, let's get it. $18.3. Think I said something about that frequency. And those that like to get into aircraft mysteries of why aircrafts of the past went down, Flight 401 or 411, I can't remember, with Eastern. That one is very chilling. A lot of stuff came out of that crash from the 70s. But the actual what happened in the cockpit and all to cause all these great changes that we see today, oh my gosh. Wow, we got 4 guesses out there. But yeah, if you ever get the chance, that flight will definitely put the hairs up on you. Several of crashes in this area will do that, but that one especially. It was in an L1011. I believe it was Eastern 401 or 411. L1011 into the Everglades. It's a ghost tale. I'll just tell you, I'll give you that much. I think 401, yeah. Happened in the early to mid 70s. They were pretty much just released, the L1011s. I guess very technologically advanced aircraft for the day, and oh my gosh, what happened to that plane? There's a great show out on the channel Quest here in the States. I don't know if it's anywhere else. That has a show called Mayday. And I've seen it a couple times on there. Wow. And I'll give this last spoiler alert. I saw the movie to it. It was a television movie made about it. Those of you into a good ghost tale, that flight it'll definitely it's an interesting story. All right, after we cross Sophus, which I think we just did, I'm gonna dial us in for, well, we're not supposed to go below 8, so we'll do that. And as with many crashes, great things usually come about, like the crash in Dallas, the L1011 there. We learned about wind shear, and what's now out there to counter it. Not counter it in that it gets rid. Oh, and not just wind shear, but microbursts. So yeah, we learned. There's a lot learned from each crash, and implemented it throughout the industry. So this one, a lot came out of. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set us down to 5,000. Well, look at that. There is an ocean ahead of us, folks. So that means MGMRY is somewhere in the neighborhood, I think. Right above our... No, I don't think that's it, but it's close. For a second there, I did think that was the airport. Oh, it's right here. I'm sorry. It's right off our... coming up on the A post here. I was close. All right, we're going to go out to sea for just a short bit before we make that turn up to Tubas. Tubas? However that was. Tobus? Tubas. Tubes. Tubes. All right, again, as we get ready for the hopefully final ad break of the flight, good prediction time, exclamation mark, the word predict, space, and a negative number. Love to have more of you. Already got 4 in that I'm aware of. I don't know if I missed any, but love to have more. Let's see, can we see the airport? No, I better stick to my guns. Up, Wolf Mod, welcome aboard. Thank you for the prediction. Appreciate it. Got 5 people guessing. Wow. All right, I'm going to go ahead, take over speed. No, we don't have a 210 restriction. Let me take a look here in the Miami area. I just might, at winter, make the turn for Basho. All right, we're going to continue this descent. Basho was 3,000. Okay, we're going to come down to 3,000. I prefer X-Plane over Microsoft right now any day. And I'm not going to get into much more. Oh, our long past top of descent there, Wolf Mod. We're vectoring for approach. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and get the slats out. And Go ahead and slow to 180. Okay, we've got localizer glide slope, so we'll put approach land on. Sorry about that, folks. I'm going to need to make another turn. Okay, so we're slowing to 150 once we get up to Basho. Miami traffic, FedEx 811. Approaching Basho for 26 left. We'll switch to CTAF. Okay, we're approaching Basho. Let's go flaps 28 and let's pop the gear. Should see a runway out there, although this way I find it very... Oh, wait a minute. I think I see it. I can find it can be very hard to find. I'll have to check the conversation there. I kind of missed it. Had a delivery pop on us that I had to grab real quick. All right. And Miami traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, Angler inbound 26 left. I still can't afford Microsoft. Well, maybe I might be able to afford FSX again. FSX, actually, once I had a decent rig, was a really good sim. It just took getting that good rig. All right, time to take over. I'm going to first go with the throttles. And memory serves, you can't disconnect from here. I lied. All right, we're on runway. Throttles ours. Let's give it one more click. I don't like things flashing at me. And Miami traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, 3 mile final, 26 left. Okay, flaps 35. Okay, stable landing.
Sink rate, sink rate, sink rate, sink rate, sink rate, sink rate. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Welcome to MGMRY.
Nice one, Mike. Nice one.
FedEx 811 exiting 26 left. Thank you. I'll have to get my bearings. I came off a little earlier than expected. All right, let's see. Where are we at? And we'll go up to kilo. We'll go up a little bit. Okay, flaps are up. Come across at Lima 2. All right, real quick after landing, flaps, slats, turn that radar off. Okay. And trim to 3. That's impossible for our dog to be nice. Anyway, if you heard him in the background. Well, Satslinger 42, thank you for the tip, $7. We sure appreciate it. Much, much appreciated. As we work our way into here, let me try to get these lights off. All right, folks, we are in the blocks. And again, thank you so much. Thanks for the help. We sure appreciate it. Wow. Was not expecting that, but thank you so much indeed. It definitely heads to the stream, in case people were curious. Oh, much appreciated. All right, we're in the blocks, like I said. Let me go through the shutdown here real quick. It's not much. We've got the APU. It just never decided to turn off. So I know what I need to do in future flights. APU bleed is on. Stave, exterior, K, fuel, seatbelts. And let's get these engines shut down, shall we? Okay, and I always hold just to make sure the packs are indeed running. And there we go. All right, let's take a look here. Looks like a motley crew way over there. Way over yonder. Now you can do all of this from inside the airplane if you wish. We'll call the ground power, call the chocks, call the stairs, open doors. There you have it, folks. We are in MGMRY. Couple of Watkin flights and Americans sitting over there. Continuum, perhaps. Oh, guiding the raid, I see, Himstein. Possibility. Hang on, let's get through this real quick. Talk through this. Stop. I'll take it for FedEx. Hang on, I'll tell you in a minute. 345 feet a minute. That'll help out my rate over there. When you've been with somebody, with a company for 6, 7, 8 years, it doesn't take much to get it way out of whack. So that's awesome. All right. Do I want to? Yes. Let's take a look at Elevatec. Let me pull that up here for you. And again, good graphics, especially zooming in, helps you to taxi if you can't find your chart real quick. We're over here, and here's the rest of the fleets. Real quick, we'll complete the flight. Why it doesn't automatically do that? Well, Sim Toolkit doesn't anymore either, so.
Miami traffic, November 280 Papa Tango, northwest of Miami by about 4.5 miles, entering the downwind for...
Okay. Let's head over here, see what they got us at. 341 feet a minute, 159. So little touch on the fast side. 154 was what we were supposed to be at, just a smidge fast. So, and you can see now how that speed plays into it. All right, our official guide is Sim Toolkit. We go with this because it really does help us out in a lot of areas. Although I don't like all these labels, but it is what it is. 386 feet a minute, so they're a little rougher on us. 159, again, we knew we were kind of fast. So let's complete the flight, okay. Complete the flight, okay. And, all right, there's a quick summary of the flight. And this is what you get from Volanta as well as Elevatech. Tells you a lot, but here's where Sim Toolkit takes it up a notch. They show you where you landed, so long as we're on the right runways. But even this, I can judge how we did. They wanted us on 27 right, and I don't know if my flight plan had it or whatever. However, we can judge how well we did on this. First off, that green dot is on the center line or within 10 feet. We'll take that. Secondly, thresholds right here. Hash marks 500 feet, 1,000 feet. At the absolute most, we were under 1,500 feet down the runway for touchdown. That, folks, is a good landing visually down the runway. We did really good there. Number-wise, we get really deep in the weeds here with how much pitch, how much roll, meaning how much were the wings banked, your speed, your G-force. That, I didn't think we hit that hard. But overall, I mean, to me, this was a dynamite landing. And we're down here in the FedEx area. Bigger than a lot of people think. All right, folks, we are going to wrap things up here. Bear with me a second as I switch gears here. Never did well switching gears on the fly. And want to say again, thank you so much. Thank you all for coming out and being a part of Flying with Mike today. Why are you not leaving? There it goes. I really hope you have a great new year. Enjoy your day. And we will be back at it Monday, maybe over the weekend with all the snow. You never know. But enjoy the weekend, folks. First weekend of the year. God bless you all. Have a wonderful week.